Yes, welcome along to episode 7 of Upping The Ante in association with Bet365 with David Jennings and Johnny Dineen, counting down to the 2024 Cheltenham Festival. And this, Upping The Ante, viewers, is our pre-Christmas special, Johnny Dineen, and we're looking not very festive. We forgot about the Christmas jumpers.
Yeah, I didn't forget about it. I tried one on at home.
No, they're not very flattering.
No, it was like a belly dancer was up the body. So I said I better leave that one.
Well, the big question is, could you afford to buy a Christmas jumper after the week? Was it a good or bad week for Johnny Dineen?
I didn't do any damage. I might have won just shaded or something, so something small now, but not major. But
what was your best result?
Best result. Well, I got off to a good start Saturday. I know I didn't make much use of it afterwards because I gave it all back, but I had something on that on the second race in Doncaster, one more for the road, and one in Novices Handicap Chase, and that kind of kept me going, like kept me in play for most of the day. So even.
And your worst result?
Worst result. I'm just trying to think now off the top of my head. Worst result. I definitely missed having a few backing a few winners that I didn't back. That kind of great sometimes when you don't. I'm trying to think of the actual worst result off the top of my head.
I know you were fancying Grey Dawning.
Yeah, I backed that. Yeah.
That
was a bit unlucky. Yeah, I think it probably should have won. Well, it would have won if it didn't make that mistake.
How good is Harry Cobden on the new course at Cheltenham?
Harry Cobden is good in any course as far as I can see. It doesn't have to be the new course. Do you know what I mean? It can be new course, old course, any course you like course as far as I can see anyway.
Yeah.
No, he's just like poetry in motion, and horses gets him to jump properly and seems to force errors from other fellas as well, you know what I mean? So, look, I don't know, that it was just one of those things. I think Grey Dawning was robbed, but it didn't, you lose your money at the same time. You
do, Johnny, you do.
Yeah.
Now, it's Christmas week, Johnny, obviously, and I know you're a racing fan, but in general, Christmas week is all about family and buying presents and, sorting out who wants what, and I presume you'll end up in different shops. So I presume you'll be in the shops all week. What's your plan for the week?
Well, I won't be. I go on Sunday. I'm at Christmas Eve, man. Yeah, for about 2 hours, like spin around them, like Speedy Gonzales. Yeah, exactly.
Batash.
Yeah, well, my missus does most of the buying for our kids and that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have to get a whole load then. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So she organises all that stuff. So
have you a busy week in the shops this week, or what's the plan?
Well, I'm going to Newbury tomorrow, and I'll be London Thursday, Ascot Friday. All going well as long as Newbury's in the
Johnny,
blow.
I should have married your wife. She must be a saint.
No, I don't be away that much now, to be honest. You know what I mean? So it's.
So Newbury Wednesday.
Yeah.
You're flying out today.
Tonight, yeah.
After the show today, is flying out to London. Okay. Newbury tomorrow. You'll be in London Thursday.
Yeah.
And Ascot Friday.
Yeah. So Ascot, barring we don't have a calamitous Newbury.
Okay. Yeah. Could have a knock-on effect.
Yeah, it could have. It could just knock the wind out of our sails, say. But Newbury, and I like going to the meets. That's Newbury Ascot. I'm not going Saturday now, but I'll just go Friday. It's good racing. Great card Newbury tomorrow. Fantastic card. Like just my kind of racing, all novice hurdles and them kind of things. And there's very few handicaps there, so I like that kind of racing anyway. Then there looks a few bets there too, so hopefully we might get a few.
So we can't actually get him to go race in Ireland, but he's in Newbury on Wednesday and he's on Ascot on Friday. So say hello to Johnny Dineen if you're in either of those places this week. And Johnny, I think we should get on with the show. Have you joined the Racing Post Members Club yet? If not, there's still 50% off the first 3 months.
Members Club is now available on the Racing Post app. All Members Club subscribers can now access premium news and tips anytime, anywhere. Plus, if you're not already a member, you'll get 50% off your first 3 months. If you haven't already subscribed yet and want to join the greatest club in racing, simply visit racingpost.com/subscribe.
So let's kick off with our questions from the crowd and get your questions into uppingtheante@racingpost.com. If you want to feature on the show, get your videos in and we will try and answer your questions. And this week's first question comes in from Paul O'Neill. And to get us in the festive spirit, Johnny Dineen, Paul wants to know our favourite Christmas memory. So the one Christmas memory that stands out, maybe plugging your heartstrings or something, Johnny. What is your favourite Christmas memory?
Well, one race that sticks out with me, it's a long time ago now. I was just starting making a book in Ireland.
About 11, were you?
No, it was the late 90s. It could have been around 2000, 1999, that kind of a time. And I didn't have any pitches, so you just got on at the end of the line kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So Limerick was on and Leopardstown at Christmas, but Limerick was actually off. We must have been building the place or something like that, because how I can remember this clearly is that Stephen's Day was in Mallow on the 26th.
Cork, yeah.
And Clonmel was on the 27th.
Okay.
And there was no race on 28 or 29. They only had 2 days down south, you know what I mean? But it was in Clonmel. And I'm guessing now, I'm almost certain that I stood this horse in a mare's novice chase anyway. A horse called Generosa. She had won in Cheltenham.
The Hyde colours, is
yes,
it?
yeah. Teamy Hyde rode it. Hyde. I think she had won in Cheltenham, something like the Per Thames, and was placed in the Coral Cup the following day.
Wow.
The same year.
Wow.
Yeah. We wouldn't see that bit happen too often, but that's what happened. But she went over fences in the autumn, say into September. That she'd got beat a few times, and what I liked about opposing her was she dropped out. You
don't like that?
No, I hate that rubbish. And she wouldn't find a whole load after Bright, even though she won in Cheltenham. She won the heartiest of finders. You know what I mean? And she was around evens or 4 to 5.
I was going to say, what price was she?
She was evens 4 to 5. You'd say you filled the bag at evens anyway, say, right? So I had to go off her anyway. She had fallen in her previous chase in do you know that race that good mares race in Clonmel?
On Clonmel Oil Day.
Yes, she'd fallen in that. She'd been beaten in a few mares novice chases before that, or goodish races. It wasn't even mares races, but anyway, she arrived in Clonmel anyway, and it was just an ordinary mares like chase, and she was. But I liked the fact that she was going to be dropped out anyway, and I liked the fact that she'd fallen in her previous run with another help, and I definitely had a real go in relation to my tank anyway. It was a big go anyway. I'd say I'm guessing the company would nearly be wound up if it won anyway, do you know what I mean? At a very early stage. So I needed it beat bad anyway, I know that much. I definitely did. And do you know who rode the winner? Davy Russell rode the winner, claiming £7, yeah. And
how did she get on?
She fell at the second last.
Would she have won?
I don't think so.
Oh.
But it was a relief to see her fall at the same time. You know what I mean? Like a relief to see. Did nothing happen or anything like that. But just to make sure that when I saw the jockey come off her, like the relief was insane.
And talk me through your emotion to the second last. How are you feeling when you take on one like that? Is your heart pounding?
Oh, definitely. At that stage, I know for certain it was vital that it got beaten anyway. Yeah. Definitely. I can't honestly say why, but I'm guessing it was. I'm guessing it was liquidation job if it won anyway for me. Even at an early stage, it was liquidation. So I definitely had a bigger go than I should have had, really. Do you know what I mean? But it fell. But I'm almost certain it wouldn't have won anyway.
Okay.
But you know when they can't beat you when they have no jockeys.
And did you get the biggest kick out of getting it right or winning the money?
Oh, winning the money. You have to mind getting it right. You need to win the money. You'd have to get paid if you get it right. Do you know what I mean?
So your favourite Christmas memory is Generosa being beaten in a mare's chase at Clonmel
because it was
on December 27th.
It was important to me. It's a bit like JP saying that he needed Mr. Donovan to win in things like
you're comparing yourself to JP
Here we
go. We knew it was going to happen.
In comparatively anyway, like you know what I mean. I know that was a big race for me anyway. You know what I mean. That was.
And you mightn't have been here now only for Generosa.
Oh, I don't know where I'd be. Is right, yeah, absolutely. And actually, she never won a chase.
Never won a chase. No. So there you go. That's Johnny Dineen's favourite Christmas memory. Mine is more just the enjoyment of watching the race. It has to be Tidal Bay in what is now the Savage Chase in 2012. Just for a race, I've never known a race in all my life, Johnny, to watch a race where obviously the four of them are coming up the straight after the last, and to change complexion so utterly in the last 50 yards. And obviously it was Fleming Star's race to lose, we thought, coming down to last, put in an extra stride in Andrew Lynch, and then was swallowed up. A stamina ran out on the running. But for Ruby to get Tidal Bay up, just visually, I thought was an astonishing race to watch for me.
Yeah, that was a great ride. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
But your story is far better than mine.
That's not really But I Stevens' Day is our Boxing Day, or whatever. That's not very a very pleasurable day for me normally. No,
isn't it?
I've been naked at 1 o'clock several times.
You?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That's a good sight, I'd say.
Yeah, no, it starts early and I could be gone early.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not this year, Johnny Dineen. And that was the first question this week in Questions from the Crowd. Question number 2 this week comes in from Jimmy Cahill, and he wants to know Johnny Dineen's Christmas Bismarck, the one horse that will not be winning under any circumstances over the festive period, Johnny. The horse you wouldn't back at 1,000,000 to 1 cubed. What is your Bismarck?
I wouldn't say 1,000,000 to 1 cube. No, that'd be a bit strong. But I looked through the entries, and like a lot of the entries aren't out, obviously. So I had to go for one of the graded races, and a few that caught me. Well, I'll give you one that I thought was one I wouldn't back. I'm not saying it's 1,000,000 to 1 cube or anything like that, but I definitely don't fancy it. Yeah, 1,000,000. Yeah, I don't know. It's 1,000,000 to 1 at all. It's probably a bit too big. But I thought Sir Gerard was up against it in that he's in a 3 mile that 3 mile Christmas hurdle against Home by the Lee and Irish Point. He's only 3-1. I thought that was underpriced. No, Sir Gerard, to me, first of all, I'm not even sure he stays 3 miles. He's flipping between hurdling and chasing. He's a horse with a few issues. To me,
he would have won at Nace, I think. Would he?
Would you think so? I'm not so sure that he would. No, I'm not so sure that he would. I look, he had a chance. You couldn't be dogmatic either way. But he's a horse that's been since the Ballymore win. He's been pretty disappointing to me, and I just thought that you'd enough of cover there. Those 2 horses alone, I'd fancy both of them to beat him. Anyway, I thought 3-1. He was one horse I thought wouldn't win, and that's an easy million to 1 around that. And I thought one other horse that might be vulnerable is if King of Kingsfield runs in the maiden hurdle, I'd be against him at Christmas.
Oh, interesting,
Yeah, I don't fancy him in the maiden hurdle. I think if Mullins produces something decent, he'll beat that.
Do you think King of Kingsfield is one of these horses that'll run better and better races?
I think King of Kingsfield is no good. That's bottom line.
Well, he was second in Grade 1.
I don't care what he is. I think he's a dodge anyway, and I think he can get beaten in the maiden hurdle. I definitely won't trust him. He won't be winning any graded races anyway, that's for sure.
Well, he nearly won a Grade 1.
I know he did, but it was a Grade 1 in name only, really, wasn't it? I do think if you have some sort of opposition in a Christmas maiden, like I saw he's entered in the Grade 1. He definitely won't be winning that anyway. But he won't be labelled in that price. But he will be favoured, I'd say, in the maiden hurdle, and he's vulnerable.
But like you'll need to be a 135 horse to beat him, I'd say.
I think if King of Kingsfield is 135 horse, which he probably is, I think 125 horse will beat him.
Just his attitude, is it?
Yes, I don't trust him, no.
Okay.
And at 125 horse will rag him, not a mind beat him.
Okay.
That's my reading of it anyway.
Johnny's 2 Bismarcks, there we go, 2 for the price of 1, are King of Kingsfield and Sir Gerhard. Our third question this week comes in from Michael Walker, and Michael wants us to count down our top 5 performances in the Cheltenham Gold Cup since the turn of the century. So since 2000, our top 5. Number 5, Johnny Dineen.
Number 5 for me was Bobsworth. The fact that he was able to win an Albert Bartlett, an RSA, and in a Gold Cup back to back. A fair effort. Three like Grade 1 races in Cheltenham, and he came and won the Lexus, or he won a race in Leopardstown anyway.
He won the Savills now.
Whatever. Lexus.
Won a Hennessy.
Yes, with 11.6. He was a brilliant horse, Bobsworth.
Okay, my number 5 is Galloping the Champs, and I know you're disgusted that he made my top 5. He got a Racing Post rating of 184, which I think made him the best Gold Cup winner in the last decade. So that's since 2014.
Yeah. Look,
you're not liking this.
Wouldn't be going for him just yet anyway. He's only won 1, and I think some of the horses in the last decade.
Oh, did Bobsworth won a few, did he?
Yeah, but he won more races than Galloping the Champs. Like Galloping the Champs would have won the Turners or whatever, all right. But like Bobsworth won the 3 mile races that he could win at that stage of his career.
Okay.
Like your man he won the Martin Pipe when Bobsworth was winning the Albert Bartlett. That's kind of a thing. I think Galloping the Champs hasn't enough done to be in any 5 yet anyway. Okay. And I do think the last 10 years aren't as good as the horses that were in the previous 10. And another thing is the RPR. What does that even mean?
Well, it's the Racing Post rating.
Yeah, exactly. But I would.
This show is done by the Racing Post, Johnny.
I know what it means, but what I'm saying is they were trying to tell us 3 years ago that Sire was the best horse in Britain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do these RPRs and all. Like they're only just a rating by someone. I don't know. Like is he a better horse than some of the horses that I'm going to mention? I don't think so.
Okay. I think he might be.
Yeah, maybe he might be, but I don't think at the moment.
Number 5 for me is Galloping Champs. Number 5 for Johnny. What was your number 5 again?
Bobsworth.
Okay. Number 4.
Kicking King.
Kicking King is also my number 4.
Oh, yes. Is he? Yeah. I like the fact that Kicking King was able to finish second in the Arkle, second in the Supreme, go to the Gold Cup and win it after a bad prep. I think without any price you like that year. So, and he won 2 King Georges, 2 different tracks, Sandown and Kempton. Was a brilliant horse.
Strong traveller.
Yeah, great. And I know he made a Horlicks in the last in Kempton 1 year, but basically a good jumper. And Garrett, he got on well with him too. Yeah. He was a very likeable horse to me, and a horse that I'd really be rating.
Yeah, absolutely. So both our number 4s is Kicking King. This is where it gets interesting now. Number 3, Johnny Dineen.
Number 3 for me was Denman.
The Tank.
Yeah, Denman was obviously a brilliant horse too, and mixed it with at the right era too, or in around the likes of Cato Star, long run in that, and was beaten in the RSA hurdle, won the RSA chase, won the Hennessy twice off 11-12. Like, it's not an easy feat.
Who beat him in the Sunline hurdle?
Nicanor.
Very good, Johnny.
Yeah. That was another vital play for me, actually.
Was it?
It was, yeah.
You laid him?
I laid 10 minutes on fluke getting a beat, but you look, that's the way it goes at times. But like he was just lucky to get a beat, that's all. But but I was a very likeable horse, a brilliant horse. On the day he beat Cato Star, like he was like imperious, wasn't he? Like, a brilliant horse. Saying that the one difference between him and Bob's Road would be in that category too. He wouldn't have been able to mix it at the lower distances, whereas some of these other horses would. That kind of separated, but he was a terrific horse.
Okay, my number 3 was Best Mate. I know he won 3 Gold Cups. Terrific horse, unbelievable achievement. And we see how hard it is for us to come back and win Gold Cups, even though Alboun Photo did it. But I thought with Best Mate, probably he was around at a time where there wasn't the greatest competition of staying chasers around. Like Harbour Pilot was obviously a very good horse, and I know Comanche Court was in there, but he probably wasn't beating superstars, was he?
Yeah, well, I suppose you could say Sir Rembrandt, Comanche
King's
Court.
Cliff.
Yeah, maybe. Like he had a big upside to him too, but I do think his middle one though was like a really top class performance.
Which suggests to me he might make your top 2. So my number 3 was Best Mate. My number 2 is Denman for that performance, beating Cato Star. For me, that was everything about it. The ride, the aggression, the positivity, the jumping, the commentary. Like, oh my God, Richard Hoyles that day, the best racing commentary I've heard. He's pounded Cato Star into submission. The answer is Denman. So Denman is my number 2. Your number 2?
My number 2 is Cato Star. And look, I suppose it's a bit like
debatable.
It's a bit like the champion chaser. The other fella saying, "What's he talking about? Cato Star should be number 1." But he's going. I put him in at number 2.
Why? Look, are you saying then that, well, you can reveal your number 1 now then? Okay?
Yeah.
Your number 1 is?
Is Best Mate.
Do you think both of them at their peak, Best Mate would beat Cato Star in a Gold Cup? 3 Mile 2 Cheltenham.
I think Best Mate's second Gold Cup, that effort would have beaten Cato Star, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like Best Mate should have won the Supreme Novices at the same time. He was a brilliant horse. He was able to win the Halden Gold Cup, so he could mix it at 2 miles.
Yeah. Well, Cato Star won 2 Tinkle Creeks.
Yeah, I understand that, I understand. And he won 5 King Georges as well, which Best Mate didn't do.
No.
But Best Mate did win 3 Gold Cups, which hasn't been done.
Yeah.
It hasn't been done, and it's, let's say the way we're going is...
He didn't regain a Gold Cup though, did he?
No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't have the same longevity. But Best Mate was a bleeder, I think.
Okay.
So like they did well to keep him intact, to win all these races. Look, I just think that he, on his day, his jumping was magnificent. He even looked like a really... No, I wouldn't be a judge of horseflesh, but like that was a gorgeous looking animal, wasn't it, Best Mate? Cato Star had the jump, the odd mistake in him that Best Mate never had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Best Mate was just sublime over obstacles, and like I'd make him my. And I could understand how people would pick Cato Star. Of course, like he won 5 King George, he won 2 Tinkle Creeks, he won 2 Gold Cups, regained Gold Cups, ran in about 6 or 7 of them. So he was. You could say why he'd be number 1, but I was
doubting yourself in the middle of answer.
Look,
here,
I wouldn't
Johnny.
argue with anyone if they picked Cato Star.
Okay.
No, but Best Mate for me was the perfect racehorse.
Okay, so just to summarise then, the 2 of them at their peak, their very best performance, top of the pops now, as good as it gets. They don't make a mistake, they do everything right. Best Mate beats Cato Star.
Yeah, in Kempton or Cheltenham, but definitely in Cheltenham.
What? In Kempton as well?
Well,
he's never at his best in Kempton.
Best Mate should have won 2 King George. He only won 1.
You're doing a lot of shoulds now in the last 2 minutes.
But he only ran in 2, I'd say, and he should have won. The only reason he didn't win the first one is they were hanging on to him all day because they were sure he'd get the distance.
Yeah.
And as it showed afterwards, Best Mate would definitely have beaten Cato Star in Cheltenham anyway, in my opinion, definitely.
Okay, there you go. We disagree on the best Gold Cup winner of the last 23 years. For me, it's Cato Star. For Johnny Dineen, it's Best Mate. And our final question this week is a video question, and it comes in from Craig Thompson. So get your video questions in, and just like Craig, you could be appearing on the show.
Hi, David and Johnny. If you take Paul Townsend out of the equation, can you tell me who will be top jockey at the festival? And can you tell me his or hers winning amount?
Right, Johnny, so we're betting without Paul Townend. He's not in the equation. We need to find the leading rider at Cheltenham 2024, and not just the leading rider, we want to find out what horses he or she is going to be winning on. So who is it?
Look, originally when I saw this question, I said that's definitely Mark Walsh. I would have gone with him. But then when I went down through his mounts, there's some of the horses he's not on him, like the likes of
John Bon,
Jerry could have represented. Even In the Pocket is another horse he's not going to be on. So I went with I went and had a good look again. And even though Mark Walsh, like, he's got nice rides with Dino Blue, and he's going to probably be on horses in handicaps.
Nico?
Yeah, Nico de Bonville, without a shadow, yeah. He's got a good hand in the Supreme, Jericho de Repane or Will Mount. He's got the likes of Shishkin in the Gold Cup. He's got Constitution Hill, obviously. He's got, he's going to have a good horse in the Triumph, Sardino. He's running in Kempton on the 27th. He'll win in Kempton. He's supposed to be fair yoke.
Who owns him?
Joe Donnelly.
Oh, and you know Joe?
Yeah, I was talking to him the other day. He told me that's where he's going, and they expect him to draw anyway. I presume he won't be big price now, you know what I mean? They bought him out of a race now. He bought the two of them, first and second. One went to Henderson, one went to Mullins. But this one has gone to Henderson. And
Sir Dino.
Sir Dino, yeah. And the other one is a good horse too. He's whatever, which one of them was first, the other one was second. They're both good horses anyway, apparently. What else has he got? He's got John Bon in the Champion Chase. That's a good ride. And like, he has plenty of rides to say that he's going to be riding Shanna Bob. It is some sort of a chance in the Albert Bartlett. So he looks to me like he's got a Constitution Hill is a good thing anyway, I would have thought, and he'll surely pick up another couple.
3 might get you second.
Yeah, exactly, and he's surely going to have other rides that I can't even think of off the top of my head. So he'd be the one I'd be going with at the minute anyway.
There you go. So betting without Paul Townend in the leading Jockey Championship at Cheltenham. Johnny Dineen is with Nico de Boinville. It's performance of the week time here on Upping The Ante, where Johnny Dineen counts down his top 3 performances of the last 7 days. Number 3, Johnny. Number
3 for me was Twin Jets. He won a novices handicap chase in Doncaster.
Oh, Jesus. This is thinking outside the box.
Yeah, he won. He's after going from Milton Harris to Paul Nichols. Bryony Frost rode it. Like I was listening to Phyllis saying she was in front too soon and all this. And I actually like backing Bryony Frost because for the reason
she's
that
positive.
Yes, absolutely. And she doesn't be messing around, and she lets it stride on. She couldn't hold it any longer. She let it stride, jump like a stag. It's running. It won off 128. Like it wasn't a bad horse with Milton Harris either, but it looked a better horse here now, and it'll definitely go up in the weights. Like, she let it stride on. The jumping was magnificent, absolutely magnificent. It wasn't a bad race either. On top of that, look, I could see that being a contender for something like the Ultima.
Oh,
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
okay.
I can imagine now that 128 go up. She'll definitely go up 8 or 10 pounds. It should be a contender for that. It needs to go left-handed as well. But it travelled like a winner all the way around, and I thought she was good in it. I liked backing her, and I could see why people put her up. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Number 3 is Twin Jets. Number 2.
Number 2 is Dice Sardinas.
Am I going to get a winner this year, Johnny? It's about time I got a winner at the Cheltenham Festival, and Dice Sardinos could be it.
You have a good chance, yeah, definitely.
She's like dynamite, isn't she?
She's electric. She's a great ton of foot. Great ton of foot. Jumping mightn't be just quite there just yet, but that experience the last day would have done her good. The new course, there isn't the same demand on their jumping as in the old. So look, she did everything right. I like the fact I didn't understand it, or didn't really take it into consideration, that they are going to avoid the penalty with her, which is massive, which is a good bit of training in my eyes anyway. That if you avoid the penalty, she's not going to go for a race between here and now that's going to give her a £5 penalty.
Yeah.
Whereas Brighter Days Ahead already has that £5 penalty. So, and the Irish ones tend to have, they usually win these like the races in Fairy House and that, and they'll pick up some of these penalties. So she's going to be arriving there with no penalty, experience of the track, which is a big help. She's a great turn of foot. She's a very good chance, yeah.
And do you think maybe Fergal O'Brien is obviously local trainer, very popular, chasing his first Cheltenham Festival winner? It's a big deal. He's gone close in the past. Of course, Alaphilippe was just touched off in the Pertemps final. But do you think maybe this is a big plan, as in, you know, this is the best horse we have. She's a mare. She's going for this race. We're going to run her in this race where she gets experience of the track. As you said, a £5 penalty. It all just seems to be coming together a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, but now saying that, you could slightly pick holes in her form. I think Beat the Bat is not a bad horse. It's probably well worth his 125 rating. But beating a 125 rated horse who had a penalty himself in the race.
Yeah. But she's got to mark a 131.
Yeah,
official mark. Yeah.
That wouldn't be winning like the mares. That wouldn't be.
Some years, yeah.
131 isn't the hope of winning it.
It has on other years. It has, yeah. Sure, Willie's horse. What was Willie's horse that won it?
Jeez, I'd say 131.
The Noel Feely thing.
Was that Concertista?
No,
that was
no,
Jacob.
no.
Oh, that was the thing that belonged to Jared Sullivan in red colours, yeah. Like I think you'd want to be going in with a bit stronger than 131 now myself. Now I think you'd.
She's better than 131.
I would probably is, yeah. She probably is. Look, she's a great chance, and look, it looks like she's going to go there probably fresh and probably unbeaten. She's a load of ones in front of her now, which is nice. You don't know how good she is.
There is one big black mark next to her name, though.
What's that? All right, yeah.
I'm a jinx.
Yeah, I know you're not. But look, the thing is, her entry bumper form isn't terrific. I just had
both of them.
She did win well.
Jesus,
yeah, she did
holy
win.
God.
I actually thought it was a better race than it turned out to be. Yeah,
I know.
Like I actually thought I wasn't looking down at like
Williamstown Dancer.
Yeah. The kind of summer horses. Look, she's the one to beat right now. Anyway, yeah, she is.
Right, that's all I want, Johnny. I just want hope to hang on to a bit of hope until March, and that was number 2 actually. And number 1, your performance of the week, which was obvious, was
mine was Blood Destiny.
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you think so? Yeah.
You know, that jump at the first was.
Yeah, it was.
Should frame that and just hang it on every.
Its jumping was
country.
insane, wasn't it? It was incredible. It just like took the fence like a duck to water, and like even Hartwood jumped well, and was still losing ground at the fences to the one in front.
Did you have a bet in the race?
No, I didn't. I didn't know which one of them to go for. I had a feeling Blood Destiny would be in front and all that, and I didn't want to back against it for that reason. But then I didn't really want to back against Hartwood, so I said I'd leave it go. And I was changing my mind every 5 minutes, so I said, look, I can't have bet here now, because I was going to fit the winner, the loser, the winner, the loser, so I left it off. It was an awesome performance. The one downside or thing you could poke at it is that it didn't go on last year from its first 2 runs, and it went backwards. And it does kind of half remind me of Dice or Dynamo, that when it gets up in class, that they will be able to stick into it.
Yeah.
And I wonder, will it be as good as it looked in Naas? I don't know. It needs to. It looks like a horse that needs to dominate anyway. And when it didn't get a chance to dominate in the Triumph Hurdle, it was gone very early in the race. So it was a small field. It was like a 1 or 2 horse race at the same time. But it was awesome, impressive doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. And I concur. Johnny Dineen's performance of the week is Blood Destiny. So that was his top 3. Now let's find out his Eyecatcher of the week. What caught your eye, Johnny?
I thought a horse called Rare Edition.
Yes.
It ran in a handicap hurdle in Doncaster on Saturday. It was really well backed. I didn't take much notice of the race really, but it was 6-1 into 9-4, because I looked up at the prices and I said, was that 9-4? And then I had a look and it was after to be backed in. And then I just looked at its form again. It was rated 136, and it had beaten Rubo over as a novice, you know what I mean, which is good form in Kempton, and then went to the Sydney Banks, got beat, then ran into Supreme, blew out in the in the race in the entry as well.
Owned by Bill Lesdale, you know Bill?
No, what does he do?
Absolute gent. Square in the Air.
What does he do?
Square in the Air.
What's that?
It's company, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There
you go.
I don't know.
He's a good horse anyway.
Oh, he's a fair tool, yeah. He is. I think he should have won it though at the same time.
Do you?
I do, yeah.
Funny race, wasn't
We were missing out the last 3 hurdles, but I just think you could get after him sooner. He stays real strong, that horse as well. Yeah. Look, I think if you backed him, you'd be.
Who rode him?
Bradley Roberts, is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look.
Poor Brad.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being harsh on the chap now, but I know the last 3 hurdles made. And then you've see when you're missing the hurdles, you weaving in and out.
Yeah. It's hard to know where to be.
But it's hard to make ground, because it's like you're into a chicane like kind of stuff. It's like, you don't see fellas passing out into chicanes in the Monaco Grand Prix. You have to slow down. So when you're coming in and out, so for that reason you've got to be more aggressive. And I think he mightn't have been more as aggressive as he should have been.
Why can they not just take out the hurdles? 5 minutes max, surely.
You'd imagine maybe, but maybe they have to put him back in the next race, and that takes
5 minutes back.
I suppose, yeah. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why they don't do that, to be honest. But you'd imagine it's a better solution than what they're doing anyway. Yeah. But I do think that was one. If you were part of that gamble, it was one that got away.
Okay, Rare Edition is Johnny Dineen's Eyecatcher of the week, so keep him in your tracker. So it's what's happening this week time here on Upping The Ante, and we have a special Christmas preview for you. Yes, this is our last show before Christmas, so we're going to preview 5 races over the festive period, kicking off on Saturday with the Long Walk Hurdle. And myself and Johnny had a discussion about this off air, and I said, Johnny, I actually really fancy one in this. And his reaction was, that has no chance. None whatsoever. I think there's one last hurrah in Champ. And I think this is probably the occasion, because I don't think it's a particularly good long walk. I think he goes particularly well fresh. He's beaten most of these horses already. It sounds to me like he's just been given one aim this season because he's not going to win a Stayers Hurdle. He's not going to win anything else, but he could win this, and I think he will. It's Champ for me.
Yeah, look, you could be right. I just...
No, you didn't say that a minute ago.
I can't get...
You said he has no chance.
I don't fancy him, no. I don't.
At all?
I don't fancy him at all.
He's too old, you said.
I think he is. He's rising 12 years of age, and I just think you can't be backing them horses in these kind of races. I just can't. It's just one thing that I always stuck by. I don't go with those 12-year-olds anyway. Let them... The odd one maybe slips through the net and wins. But look, okay, he might be best fresh and all that, but look, it's... I don't know. I couldn't have him anyway. There'll be surely something have the legs of him in this race. I think anyway.
But go through it, Johnny. It's not exactly a vintage renewal.
It isn't. But he's just too old. He's just too old.
He'll beat your horse. Go on. What do you fancy?
I like the look of Botox has. I think that he's a 152 rating. I was given Crambo a chance, but he's 10 pounds wrong at the same.
Yeah.
He needs to improve again, and like he's a good horse, Crambo, but he still is a bit wrong in the way. Like Dashel Drasher, Botox Ha. They're about the same rating. But the one thing I like about Botox, he won that race in Wetherby when Gary Moore couldn't train a winner. And his horses are definitely starting to click now a bit. And look, he has a chance. I will be gobsmacked if Champ won that now myself.
Would you, Johnny?
I would. Couldn't have him at all. I might be all wrong now, but I couldn't have him anyway. I thought he was short. He's around 72 or 130. I thought he was a bad price now myself. Very bad price.
Gobsmacked.
Yeah, I would. I couldn't fancy him at all.
Okay, there we go. We might be backing him with Johnny and Dineen after the show. Champ for me in the long walk. It's Botox has for Johnny. The big one on St. Stephen's Day or Boxing Day, if you're watching from across the water, it is the King George, Johnny, one of the highlights of the season. We don't necessarily know exactly what's going to run at the moment. Yeah. Jerry Colomb could go here, could go to Savills Chase. Allaho looks like he's definitely going here. You've got Brave Man's Game, obviously. You've got Shishkin. Have you a strong opinion on the race?
I don't have a strong opinion, no. I don't.
Have you an opinion?
I have an opinion that I probably won't be backing with cash at the same time. Do you know what I mean? Which means I have no opinion. So basically, I'm very...
Okay, can we cross any off here? What won't be winning?
Well, it looks like Jerry Colomb isn't going to run right now. Looking at the betting and the exchanges, he's bigger than 10 to 1. So
I don't think they've their mind made up yet.
Yeah, maybe not. I was hoping he would run now because I think if he misses it, he takes a lot away from the race.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him running. Allaho is coming here. Like he's run after Clonmel. He won easy down there. There was a no race. I think Allaho.
Will he win?
I wouldn't back him, but he would have to respect him. You know what I mean? It's just wondering. Is it the same Allaho that should have probably been in this race 2 years ago?
Well, put it this way. If it was the Allaho of 2 years ago, would he win it?
Yes.
If it was the Allaho of 3 years ago, would he win it?
Yeah, I'd imagine so, yeah. No, I think Allaho, like when he was tearing those horses asunder in the Ryanair, he'd have won this. But maybe it's too late now that he's missed the season. I hate backing horses that miss a season anyway. In this company especially, he's going to have to make the running. He's going to get a bit of pressure from the real whacker. He likes making the running Allaho. His jumping is exemplary, and that puts horses on the back foot. The way he jumps horses into the ground. He mightn't get his own way here. It's debatable whether he's going to be as good as he was. I couldn't back him for that reason. Brave Man's Game might have left his chances in.
Are we being harsh on him though? Do you know? Like he's still a very good winner of the King George last season. He's still won. Like he's still second in the Gold Cup. He's still a very good horse.
Oh no, I'm not saying.
And he's a brilliant jumper.
I'm not saying for a moment, but you are hoping that he didn't leave his chances behind him in Haydock. Do you know? Like if he had not run in Haydock, I would have fancied him here. Yeah, okay. I would. But you still have that little niggle in the back of your mind. Okay. Like the way I look at these races is, I can't back Allaho because I don't know is he good as he was.
Okay.
I can't back Brave Man's Game because I don't know is the race in Haydock after leaving the mark. You can't back Shishkin because he mightn't start. You can't back Jerry Colomb because he probably won't run. so you're into looks like Royal Pigale, the real wagger, who are very difficult to fancy in my opinion. Yeah. So for that reason, I cannot have a bet in the race.
For that reason, you're out.
I'm out in this one. It's like the Dragon's Den. I am out.
You're like Gary Neville there. Okay, so no bet for you.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shishkin won it, to be honest.
I think Shishkin might win it.
Yeah, I think he has a chance.
And do you know why? Is he potentially, now, after seeing what happened the Brave Man's Game and him running at Haydock, is he now the only horse who's actually been trained specifically for the King George this season? Because if you look at all the rest of them, they all have alternative targets, or something has happened, or you're thinking, Jerry Colon potentially Gold Cup if he runs, obviously. Allaho, missed the season, Ryanair. You've got Braveman's Game, who obviously had a hard race in the Bedford Chase, went to the Charlie Hall. Is Shishkin now the fresh horse who's been trained for this race? Yes, he missed his prep, but is he the one that's going to benefit from all the others potentially not having this as their main aim?
I suppose he's not had a prep, I suppose.
No.
I'd imagine Allaho was trained for this race, though. The fact that he ran in Clonmel, I would have said they didn't go for the John Durkin. So I'd imagine Allaho, they were giving him that extra 2 weeks to be here at this meeting for this race. So even though he wasn't publicly declared as a certain, I'd imagine this is in the back of their mind, or in the front of their mind, I'd imagine. So he's probably trained for the race. Braveman's Game is probably trained for the race, but trained maybe by the owner rather than by the trainer for the race. You know what I mean? That could be a difficult one to work out. Look, I think it's a tricky race. I know Shishkin has been to Kempton since and started where they do start, and went around like Tonto anyway. You went up on him, so he was happy out. He started no problem with other horses. They start just by the stands there, so they brought him there, and he was with other horses of Henderson's, and they obviously lift up the thing and off he went. So they don't expect any reoccurrence of what happened the last day.
That's good enough for me, Johnny.
I just think he might have a chance. Yeah.
Me too. Okay,
but I won't be backing him either, though.
No. Maybe in running, maybe.
Yeah, but he'd be probably half the price if he starts, and he shouldn't be half the price if he starts, because he still has to go and win this at the same time.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, okay, that's the King George, which is tremendously tricky. I think the King George at this stage, we're just 6 days out from it. Okay, so the Welsh National then on the 27th, which is Wednesday. It's one of the trickier puzzles of the week. Do you like anything in it?
I thought Monbeg Thing was underpriced.
Monbeg Genius.
Monbeg Genius. I thought he was underpriced. He's too messy at the jumps, in my opinion. He did too much sloppy jumping in Newbury. He's not really a real top handicap chaser in the way he jumps. The horse of Snowden's there is a secret, what's he called again? Secret something. He's 10 stone 6 anyway. He have a lovely racing weight here now. Like when the ground is going to be bad in Chepstow, it invariably is anyway. Always is. So I would be against horses with too high up the weights. Okay. I think with 10 stones. Now he's been found in the market now. Gordon Elliott brings a horse here, doesn't he? What's he called? Dunboyne. That could be the one that could have a chance. He's probably
just beaten in the Theastis.
He's probably been trained for this race. He's 11 stone 1. That's about as much as you'd want to be carrying here now at the same time. Look, if again it's a race I probably won't take part in, but I would go maybe Dunboyne, maybe.
Okay,
small.
I give a small squeak to the Galloping Bear, who I always thought would win a Welsh National at some stage in his career, but it mightn't quite happen. But I think he's got a chance at a big price. The Galloping Bear hasn't. His prep was cancelled because the meeting was abandoned. But Galloping Bear, the big double-figure price, I thought had a chance. Moving on to the Savills Chase on Thursday, Johnny.
Yeah, Galloping the Sham, fast or slow. Looks like
will Galloping the Sham's run, do you think?
I have no idea. He's favoured, isn't he? Like Ante-Post, but doesn't mean much, I suppose. But if he doesn't,
are you hearing that?
I didn't hear. No, I didn't ask, but I didn't hear it, and I didn't care. But if he doesn't run, where is he going to run if he doesn't run?
Irish
here?
Gold Cup. But that's same path as last year.
That's a big gap from.
Well, the same as last year.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is that what he did last year?
That's what he did last year.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll do that again. So.
You think he might though? Your instinct is telling you
the
might.
betting is suggesting that he's favoured at 13 to 8, 11 to 4. I think fast or slow. They look like the two big horses.
If they do both run, who'll win?
I wouldn't be ramming it down anyone's throat either way, but slightly favour fast or slow. Slightly.
Is he a proper Cheltenham contender?
No, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he is, of course. I think he's a 6-1 chance. I think he's a great chance. Yeah.
What about last year's winner of the race, Conflated?
I think Conflated will want these kind of horses to underperform. The Conflated, like you won't see fast or slow or Galloping the Champ being entered in the cross country, will you? Like, you know what I mean? Do you know the fact that I think that he has his limitations. He was well beaten in the Gold Cup last year. That's as good as he is, Conflated. He needs horses to not show or not perform to have any chance of winning, I think. I've no idea whether Galloping the Champ will run or not. Fast or slow will probably run at the same time, won't it?
Yeah.
I think the fluke side of fast or slow is gradually dissipating, isn't it? Like I think that people are actually realising. Like I think when everyone saw him winning in Punchestown, they said, "Oh, fluke, Kip, Punchestown at the end of the year." Do you know what I mean? Anything can happen up here. Do you know that kind of say 20 to 1? Sure, it's the same thing every year. You know what I mean? That's that kind of stuff. But then when you see him doing it again in the John Druck, and you're saying, "Hey, hang on a while, This is a good horse.
And the way Brazil talks about him.
Yeah, I think he's a dangerous animal in a horse in a race now. Yeah,
Absolutely. There you go. That is the Savills Chase. And finally, it looks like another solo for Stateman in the Matheson Hurdle, does it?
It does. I mean, it's. I just saw the bet 2 to 5, 3 to 1 in Perry Pass, and there's any price you like the rest. So I presume only one turns up, and whichever one of them it turns up, it's likely to be Stateman. He'll win.
This strikes me as, if it is Stateman against the usual horses that follow him home, at 2 to 5 you could actually back him, because he's the type of horse you could really trust, isn't he?
Oh, he's never leaving. He's bomb-proof. Yeah. Bomb-proof, yeah. He's absolutely bomb-proof, yeah. I mean, I've backed him at skinny odds before. He's never. The only time he did leave me down was he fell first pop in Leopardstown. Yeah. Now, what a cert he was in that race. Yeah, but he got beaten. It just shows you what can happen in a race. So, look, he's like a. You set your clock by him or whatever. Like he does everything right even in Cheltenham. Like he did nothing wrong. He just wasn't good enough. Like, but he gave his performance at the same time. Okay,
there we go. Stateman, unanimous jury to finish with Stateman in the Matheson Hurdle, and that was your pre-Christmas Cheltenham preview, or Christmas preview, I should say, rather than Cheltenham. Your pre-Christmas preview. There you go. So now it's time for our pre-Christmas treat from Johnny Dineen. So the one horse that's going to run before Christmas that Upping The Ante viewers can back. So our charity bet this week is going to be over the Christmas period. But right now, Johnny, we need to get them a winner to get them a few bob for Christmas, okay?
Yeah.
So what have you got? I know you fancy this week's one.
Yeah, I'll give it a good chance. It runs tomorrow in Ludlow.
So Wednesday at Ludlow.
Yeah, 2:25. Baby Sham, is it that her name, is it? No.
Baby Sage.
Baby Sage.
I just built you up there, Johnny. Baby Sage. He does actually really fancy it. We were chatting about it before the show.
I don't know the name of it, but I do fancy it.
Baby Sage.
Yeah, that's it.
For Alan King,
Tom
Cannon,
yeah. Look, it's
2:25 Ludlow.
It's a mare's novice hurdle. It's not the world's worst race. Like the Henderson has one in it, and Fergal O'Brien. It's like she'll definitely be 5 to 2 or 3 to 1. That kind of stuff.
Why will she win?
Look, I just think she's getting the hang of it. You know what I mean? I backed her the first day she ran in Ludlow.
I remember it.
Yeah, it's the only place where you can't see the hurdle behind trees. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And next thing she jumps the first, the next thing there's the one gone, says your man, and I see this fella walking away. I says, stop. Red and white colours. I said, go way out of that. You couldn't even see her falling, like behind trees. I'm like, what kind of camera work are they doing in these places? But anyway, I think they actually rectified it the last day.
They did.
Didn't they? I didn't see where you couldn't see any hurdle anyway.
Yeah.
But Market Raisin the last day was probably in effect her first run. She was second to Southern Babylon. Thought she ran well. I thought she's like near winning, if you know what I'm saying. Now this isn't the world's worst race, but she's not a bad animal in her own right, and I just think she has a good chance. And if she did happen to win, there is a stone waller in the last. It'll be short. Paddy Brennan or War, what's he called it? I can't remember his name now. You'll see him anyway.
Okay, Paddy Brennan the last.
Yeah, if this happened to win, you can roll up on that anyway.
Okay.
Oh,
we'll get it before the end of the show.
Yeah, something like War. He threw off the jockey in Exeter, and then he ran in Taunton.
I think you mentioned this in your column in the Racing Post. Yeah,
Go to War is his name.
Go to War.
Yeah.
We got there in the end.
He'll win.
But
I'm not going to put him up because he's going to be too short.
Okay, so Baby Sage.
And if he happened to win later on, the other one.
Okay, Baby Sage.
I'll go with Baby Sage as my bet.
Okay,
anyway,
Baby Sage in the 2:25 at Ludlow on Wednesday is Johnny Dineen's pre-Christmas treat. Let's get money in the wallets to buy those Christmas presents. Baby Sage. So now it's time for DJ versus JD, our weekly charity bet competition. How did we get on last week, Johnny?
How did we get on? I don't think I won anyway. I tipped NX Chelsea's Deo.
Yes.
Second, yeah.
You were second.
Beaten, yeah.
I went for So Scottish, who I think was
yeah.
travelling really well actually when he fell in the December Gold Cup. So the nuts and the bolts of that means that I'm minus 250 quid and you're minus 95 quid, and we're supposed to be experts, we're supposed to be the pundits, we're supposed to be the people giving people winners.
It's early days.
Or minus 250 and minus 95. Some competition. This is the Vauxhall Conference. Holy
no,
God.
It's early days. We can swing it around yet.
Can we? Okay, what are we going to swing it around with? What is the best bet? So this is the best bet that we can come up with over Christmas. Johnny Dineen, take it away.
I'm going to chance in the pocket.
You love that horse.
To beat Marine Nationale in that novice chase on the 27th.
27th, yes. 12:35 on the 27th at Leopardstown.
I'm assuming he's running in it anyway. I just think he has a chance of lowering the favourites' colours maybe in that race. Like I hadn't had the entries to the other races, so I had to pick something, and I have a feeling that will turn up in that race, and if it does, I expect it to maybe beat him.
Beat Marine Nationale. And you think he's potentially an Arkle winner.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do. I do, and I think I getting stronger by the day. I do think he's a great chance.
Will Marine National be favoured to beat him?
But he should be insofar as one is 5-2 and one is 10 and 11, 12-1 for the
Arkle, yeah.
But on the opposite to that is that Barry Connell is not having winners. The other one is a run over fences. So that'll definitely bring them together. They'll bet tight enough in it now. The same.
What was in them? Was there 5-6 lengths between them at Cheltenham?
Yeah, at least I'd say yeah. Look, on Cheltenham running Marine National winning again, but I just think In the Pocket might improve past them.
Okay, there you go. In the Pocket, 12:35 at Leopardstown on Wednesday is Johnny Dineen's best bet of the Christmas period. I'm going for the same stable, slightly bigger price, I think. I'm going for Am I Right in the Paddy Power Handicap Chase on the 27th, 3 o'clock on the 27th. Ran in the showcase meeting at Cheltenham back in October and was just too fizzy, too free in the early part of the race. And I actually thought Am I Right did well to finish as close as he did. He just poked your eye out. He was travelling too powerfully through the race. You remember, this is the horse that you put up as one of your Eyecatchers last season when he ran in the Grade 1. It was the Neville's Hotel Novices Chase last season. Do you remember it?
You're right, yeah.
And you put him up in this. I think Gaillard de Menil won it.
Yeah.
And he fell or he was knocked over. Do you remember he bumped into Jack Kennedy's horse?
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And he fell, but he was travelling beautifully during the race. I think he's a really well handicapped horse. And I think this is one race that Henry de Bromhead is excellent at targeting. Should have won it last year, really, I thought. Remember, had the favourite for Rob Corr, was second. What was it called? Oh, runs and all. Anyway, Gabby's Cross ran a cracker in it as well. What do you call it? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me anyway. But had the second in the race last year. Could have potentially finished third. Led over the last and kind of drifted to the left up the run, and that's going to bug me, the name of that horse. Ran the Grand National. Rachel Blackmore was well backed.
Ain't that a shame?
Ain't that a shame? Well done, Johnny. Ain't that a shame? Ran well, and so did Gabby's Cross. The two of them ran really well in the Paddy Power last season. I think Henry de Bromhead has targeted Am I Right at the Paddy Power Chase this season. I think Leopardstown is made from flat track, 3 miles, strong pace. Going to get a stronger pace than he got at Leopardstown. He's around about 12 or 14-1. Hopefully Bet365 will be kind and give us a bit of 14s, maybe even 16-1. And Am I Right? And that is my charity bet this week. It's Am I Right in the 3 o'clock Paddy Power Chase at Leopardstown on Wednesday. And if you've missed Johnny's, it was In the Pocket from the same stable in the JP McManus colours in the 12:35 at Leopardstown on the same day. And that was this week's JD versus DJ. And let's hope, Johnny, let's hope we get a winner. Now it's time for the festival teams here on Upping The Ante, where you get to find out whether myself or Johnny Dineen are going to add to our squads for the Cheltenham Festival. But before we do, let's have a quick look at our picks so far. And Johnny, you've 3 so far that are all much shorter prices. Nick Rocket's been well backed for the National Hunt Chase. You got Dino Blue for the Mayor's Chase, looks to have a cracking chance. And you've got In the Pocket for the Arkle, who has been hammered since you put up In the Pocket. I think 16s into around 10s, I think, is it?
He's a 10-1 chance. Yeah.
Are you expecting any of those 3 to run over Christmas, apart from In the Pocket?
In the Pocket.
Dino Blue?
Dino Blue is I saw that entered in the Paddy
2
Rewards
miler.
race.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's running or not. Nick Rocket is
Beginner's Chase
is going to appear in a 3-mile chase somewhere. That's like something that could turn up. Isn't there one in New Year's Eve in Fairy House?
Yes.
Or Punchestown, I should say.
Punchestown.
Yeah.
I think there's a 2-mile 5 Beginner's Chase at Fairy House as well on New Year's Day.
Is there? Yeah. Well, probably you'd like to see it appearing in one of those.
James de Burley.
Yeah. Nick Rocket. I'd say if he's going to be going for the
National Chase,
he'll appear in the 3 mile. I think you have to run in 3 mile, don't you, to run in those races. So that's the race I'd like to see him in. The one in Punchestown New Year's Eve. He'd fancy him strong.
It's the first race usually, I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah. No, I couldn't find anything this week though. At the same time, I couldn't see.
I didn't even ask you yet. But
sorry. Yeah. Okay.
No, go on.
Sorry.
Go on.
No.
We were building up to that.
Okay.
We were trying to get them watching for another few minutes.
All right. Okay. No.
Nothing.
My those 3 are. Look, as I said, I have another 7 to go, and I have plenty of time to pick them yet. Surely we'll pick one for next week, because we'll have the advantage of seeing the first 2 days in Leopardstown and Kempton and Limerick and those places. So I fancy I'll be making it 4 next week, but just for this week I'm going to sit in my hands. Okay,
so nothing zilch from Johnny Dineen this week. Just a quick look at my selection so far. Not Dice Ardinos. Hopefully will be my captain going into the week. Tipped up on the show at 8-1, so hopefully, fingers crossed, he will do the business. Corbett's Cross in the Brown Advisory has been well supported since he won his Beginner's Chase at Fairies as well. And I've got Fact to File in the National Hunt Chase, and my trump card for the Albert Bartlett. So hopefully my trump card will appear in a maiden hurdle over the festive period as well. And I am going to add, Johnny, neither of us added to our festival teams last week. I'm going to add my selection this week after the form was franked in spectacular fashion at Cheltenham on Friday. I can't understand it, Johnny. Late night passes now into, I think, 7 or 8 to 1 for the Glenfarclas Cross Country Chase Cheltenham Festival. And Foxy Jacks is 16 to 1 with Bet365. Foxy Jacks, I thought, beat Late Night Pass fair and square. I think he is a vastly improved racehorse this season, and I think they've found the key to him. So Foxy Jacks is going to be my latest addition to my festival team, 16 to 1 with Bet365. I think with Foxy Jacks, it was interesting listening to the winning jockey Bruder after the race last time, because he feels like he's got the hang of the horse and that he goes either right or left of the fence. He never jumps the fence straight.
Okay.
So he goes either right or left, and he just lets him do his own thing at the fences. So I think that's obviously key that they know that, and maybe that was one of the reasons that he's so many falls on his CV. I thought he did a lot of running to be on front at the last, and then he still needed to pull out more. He's a Midlands national winner at Kilbeg, and I know people are going to say, oh, he's running off level weights, and when they get to the festival, and this is what you're going to say, when they get to the festival, they're running off level weights. He's running against Manila Indo, he's running against Conflated or Delta Work, and you're wondering, has he enough class? But Delta Work was lame after he ran in November, so it could be a rush to get him to the festival. Hopefully he'll be okay, touch wood. Galvin, to me, like, he's running okay. He's not exactly pulling up any trees, is he, Galvin?
No, he's not actually. No.
Conflated is running the Savage Chase and must have a massive chance. If he finishes in the first 2 or 3 in the Savage Chase, is he really going to be going the cross-country route? Manila Indo ran well, and I think even Ruby Walsh picked him out as his Eyecatcher on ITV at the weekend. He did run well, and you can imagine him taking a step forward. But Late Night Pass was well on top of the line, I thought. Foxy Jacks is beating him fair and square, I thought, at the November meeting. I think Bouse Morris is going to have him cherry ripe for the big day. And at the prices, you know that's his race. He's not going to go anywhere else at Cheltenham. That's his race. He's won there. He's a core specialist in the cross-country race. I think he's a better horse this season than he was for the last couple of seasons. And for that reason, Foxy Jacks at 16 to 1 is the latest addition to my Cheltenham Festival team. Go on, Johnny. Go on, ridicule me. I know you don't fancy him.
No, I don't really. But saying that, I've lost kind of half interest in the cross-country race. It used to be a good punting medium, but I suppose you could back the winner last year, Elliott maybe, but I don't know. I just think them handicaps around this time of the year, I think literally anything could win them a lot of the time. And that horse has been kept for the big meeting, and it's Sturley's pooping around there in those races, and you can see a different kind of a performance when it comes to the bigger day, a bit like Manila Indo and a bit like Delta Work and a bit like maybe Galvin too when the time comes. And you will see the likes of Late Night Pass and Foxy Jacks picking up these races, but when it comes to the big day, and there's all off levels, I'd be surprised if any of them are good enough anyway to be self. But as I said, I might be wrong. But look,
that lasted all of 15 seconds.
Late Night Pass had 10 stone odd the other day at the same time. You know, yeah. Foxy Jacks, I'd be surprised if he was able to match them.
Not far off them in the ratings though. Yeah,
but he was like, you're talking like half gold or full Gold Cup horses and some
Gold Cup winner,
yeah, and maybe like said grade 1 horses against the horse that was, you're saying, won the Midlands National.
Right, Johnny, right. Johnny doesn't fancy him, right? No, Forget about it. You don't fancy him, right? Let's
get on. I don't.
Foxy
really
Jacks is on my team anyway, and he's 16 to 1 Bet365. So there you go. That's this week's festival teams. So here at the Racing Post, we're trying to make study and form as easy as we can for you, especially over the festive period with racing here, there, and everywhere. So here's a look at our new look cards.
You spoke, we listened. Introducing Race Cards Redefined. 3 brand new and unique race cards tailored for your needs. Our new and improved standard race card is the punter's favourite and is everything you need to make your selection. Get the maximum amount of information in the palm of your hand with Expert View. Cover all areas and get all the same information as our newspaper. With Compact View, you can make a quick decision on who to back. View more runners and more odds on one race. Which race card will you choose?
So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for week 7 of Up in the Ante, our pre-Christmas special. So, Johnny Dineen, people are going to be watching this and they are dying to know one thing. Dying to know what your Christmas Day routine is like. So talk us through Johnny Dineen's Christmas Day.
I suppose, look,
what time are you up at?
With young kids, you're going to be up relatively early.
And you have very young kids.
We have a 2 and a 6, yeah. So the 6 is going to be up anyway. The 2 doesn't really know what century she's in, but the 6 will be up. And
is the 2 in between the middlies, or is the 2
no,
in the
2 is out. The 6 is in the middle of us.
Really?
Yeah,
right.
Still is, yeah. Well, she'd be there a lot anyway. Look, same as most families. You'll be up early and look, they'll be opening presents, and the others probably be still asleep. They come down gradually, and it's only for little kids anyway, isn't it? Christmas, yeah.
So do you make breakfast? Would you be a...
I will have me breakfast early, yeah.
Would you just do a big fry or what?
Oh, no, because we have dinner like 1:30 or so, 2 o'clock maybe.
At home?
Yes.
Just the family, or would you just have others in?
Usually the family only, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And who cooks the dinner?
Oh, the missus does most of the cooking, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Does she have a name?
Well, Susan, yeah.
Susan.
Yeah, but I give her a hand at the finish now, you know what I mean? And, you know,
what,
calling
the decoration?
telling them come down for the dinner, yeah. And we'll be finished relatively early, and after that it's...
And would you do kind of starter, soup, main course, dessert, tea and coffee, or just the main course?
Oh, well, starter, main course, and then maybe dessert maybe an hour later, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'd be stuck. What would the starter be?
Kind of like smoked salmon or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is traditional, like turkey ham stuff. I like turkey and ham actually, and I like a lot of it too, as you can see.
So what time are we up to now? So you have the dessert an hour afterwards. What time are we at?
About 3 now.
Right.
And then watching maybe a Netflix or something. And
watching on Netflix.
Or something, put on some Netflix or whatever. And look, that takes you up to 6. Maybe you have something small about 7:30.
Would you have a sandwich then?
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. And then I could be in bed about 9:30. Like, I'm really looking forward to the following day more so than Christmas Day, really. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that's like my Christmas, isn't it? Like Boxing Day or Stephen's Day.
And would you be studying for? Would you get much chance to study for him?
Oh, you would on the Sunday, the day before.
The day before Christmas Eve?
Yes. Yeah, you would. You would, yeah. Like, I'd spend a lot of Sunday looking at it, yeah.
Okay.
And a bit of Saturday as well.
Yeah.
And a bit of Christmas Day as well. and most of Monday morning, or Tuesday morning, whatever. But no,
you do enjoy Christmas Day with the family?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course you would, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's a children's thing, isn't it, like, really? And it's like, I might go out and visit my mother and my mum and dad on Christmas morning as well. Do you know, that kind of thing? So, try to traditionally, we don't do anything that's not anything wild or anything like that anyway. We I'd never have a drink now, never. No, I couldn't be bothered. No. I never, even when I used to drink a bit, I would never drink at home.
Would Susan have a drink?
She might have a glass of wine, that's all, yeah. No.
And tell me this then, the big question, Christmas present for Susan, have you bought it yet?
No, not yet, no. A Sunday.
Loads of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you thinking? Like, what? She doesn't watch the show, so you're free.
I
free rein here.
I haven't a clue. My
what's favourite? What would be favourite at the moment?
I'll ask my daughter to give us a bit of advice, and she'll be able to tell me what she wants. You know?
Yeah.
So, within reason, yeah.
Are we talking
something?
Couple of hundred?
Under 30 brig.
Under what?
30. No, I'm only joking. I don't know. You wouldn't get away with, like, giving her knob stuff either, though. You know what I mean? I don't know. Look, we'll see. We'll see. I want to win on the weekend anyway first.
Yeah. Depends on how Saturday goes.
Yeah, if shampoo now, she could be in trouble.
I'll buy the present then, Johnny.
Yeah, you will send
it on to you. So there you go. Well, Johnny, enjoy your Christmas.
We will do, yeah.
Enjoy your Christmas, and you enjoy your Christmas as well. We'll be back. Don't forget now, we'll be back on Thursday, okay? So Thursday, the 28th of December, we'll be back. So we're doing 2 Thursdays in a row. We're doing Thursday, the 28th of December, and we're doing Thursday, the 4th of January. So 2 Thursdays in a row. Put in your diary, 6 o'clock. On the 2 Thursdays coming up over the festive period, Up in the Ante will be coming to a screen near you. So all that's left to do is wish you all a very happy Christmas. Enjoy the racing, but most of all, enjoy your time with your family, and hopefully you back a few winners along the way. I've been David Jennings. He's been Johnny Dineen. Thanks for watching Up in the Ante.